How we doing, family? Peace, love, prosperity. So, hey, this video, the lighting is not gonna be the best. The camera angle isn't the best. I could probably move over a little bit. It's not gonna be the best, but it's what I'm working with in this current moment. And now that I know what I need, it's like we're only gonna be getting better from here. But this video is inspired by something that's recently been happening to just my life and my experience, and it's a learning curve, and it's what, how can I say this? It's what is going to propel me into my future and my dreams and what I see for myself right now. I moved out of my parents' house, and I am 21 years old. Physically, spiritually, it doesn't matter, but it's a big change, and I'm doing van life too. I'm not in an apartment or anything yet. Don't get it twisted. I'm doing van life with my girl for a little. You know what I'm saying? I gotta explore a little with my girl. You feel me? So it's just right now, from my experience, I want to explore and I want to learn new perspectives. I want to learn new perspectives. I want to learn different cultures and how things work and how people think and how just perspective. Everything is perspective. And how can I alchemize that into how can I alchemize that into a better vision for my daily self, a better vision for my future self? Because I'm getting ahead of my words, but the better vision I have for myself currently, imagine what that will produce for my future self and what I envision for that. You know, I envision so much for myself. I really do. And I'm gonna achieve it. I'm gonna look back on this video one day and be like, damn, he really did what he said he did. But I already, I've manifested things into my life that I didn't think were possible 2 years ago. If I would have told, or if someone would have told my younger self, sorry about that, but if someone would have told my younger self, yo, you be in this position today, I would say, you're lying. But at the same time, I seen that for myself. Isn't that crazy? I realized the life that I seen for myself, my future self was telling my past self every single day. Now, it wasn't like, this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen. No, it was giving me little droplets here and there. So I'll call it the first droplet, or the first, I'll call it a download, but I'll say my intuition, or my compass to my higher self, my higher self's compass to following my own path. I'll put it that way. My intuition's compass to following my higher self's path, physically. So, anyways, I'm getting off track. We're 4 minutes in, and I haven't even talked about the video. But so this video is going to be about not fearing change. Not fearing change, and why change is feared. Okay. So change. So I moved out of my parents. I moved out of my mom's house, right? And now I'm on my own with my girl. So it's a matter of being consistent with what you want to achieve. Because I knew that being inside of my mother's house was weakening me and weakening my mindset. But I allowed it to. But at the same time, when you're pushed out of that comfort zone, now that's when you start producing. Now that's when you start, that's when make or break. You feel me? And I'm seeing that, and like I said, being consistent. So I have a certain goal with my mental, my physical physique, my life, tomorrow, the next day, a week, a month from now, 2 weeks, 2 months, a year from now. I don't have expectations, but I have standards. I have standards for those expectations that I do not I have standards for the expectations that I do not expect, but I do expect. And what do I mean by that? I expect myself to, let's say, by the age of 30, so physically that's 9 years. When I am 30, I will have my own health and wellness gym. I will have my own plot of land with my wife, but not even just wife, beyond that, my divine feminine. I will have land with my divine feminine. We will have flower plots, we will have vegetable plots, fruits, herbs, vineyards, mountains, lakes, rivers. We'll have natural spring water on our land, so we get free water, we get free food. We're abundant in our nature. Sorry. And I have my other businesses where I got my master's in psychology. I got my master's in psychology. I got my degree in horticulture, what the fuck? Sorry. I'm a part-time florist, or I'm a full-time florist. I grow my own food. I sell my own food. You know what I'm saying? And I see that and so much more. I see myself getting land outside of the U.S. in Japan, Germany, Russia, Austria, the Bahamas, the Caribbean. I see my house, not my first house, but my house that I stay at once I have all my businesses and we're just abundant with cash flow coming in. Not even just cash flow, but just energy coming in. My house will be on a beachfront. I will have mountains behind me. I will have a beautiful scenery around me. I will have this number of cars. I will have this car, this car, and this car. I will have a plane. I will have all these things. I'll have like 14 bathrooms. I'll have 18 bedrooms. I'll have a huge garage. I'll be growing my own mushrooms. I'll be growing my own cannabis. I'll be growing, all these things for myself and my family. And just, like I said, being consistent with that image. But let's get to the video. I gotta get close so I can see this because there's no light in here. Okay, so I wrote, change is feared because we're conditioned to fear change that hasn't even shown itself yet to us physically. But little do you know, it's something that has already happened to you. You just don't have, you just have to put the work in. And like I just said, you have to put the work in. So being consistent, making a ritual for yourself. Say you'll wake up early and go to the gym. After the gym, if you have a dog, go walk your dog. If you whatever. If you want to go read now, if you want to go study, if you want to go research. Change is feared because we're conditioned to fear change that hasn't even shown itself yet to us physically. So yeah, one of those could be moving out of your parents' house. You don't know what's beyond that, but at the same time, you don't know what's beyond that. So you have to take that risk. And you have to take that risk that's beyond comfortability, because when you push yourself beyond comfortability, that's when you start seeing new perspectives and creating new thoughts for yourself. And that's when you rewire not only your brain, but your nervous system and just your whole I could say physiology on that, but I mean, that's the same thing. So that hasn't even shown itself to us physically yet. Damn. Okay. So what do I mean by that? First of all, nothing we see is actually physical. What you see in the dream is consciousness. This is consciousness. There is no difference between this or that. So when you realize we are just observing, or I am just observing, because I realize that for myself. But when you realize it too, let me slow down. When you are the observer, you realize that your thoughts create your reality. Sorry, I got stuck. Your thoughts create your reality. So if I'm constantly worrying about my next move, I'm bringing that vibration into that equation, or into that creation that I'm creating. But when you see yourself becoming a florist, or you see yourself walking dogs for a living, or you see yourself running your own dispensary, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You just thinking that creates that reality. You just got to put the work in to get to that reality. Nothing is impossible. My phone's at 10%, so we're gonna start going through this. And you know what? Let me not rush myself. Let me respond. All right, what's good, y'all? Plug my phone in, and next topic, okay? Or not next topic. Next bullet point. Everything that happens in the physical has already been scripted out. So not only your life, but not only others, but society in general, what's being pushed with social media and media in itself. Because why I say this is because through movies, through TV shows, through books, society has already been told what's going to happen. Look at the Animatrix. Look at the Matrix. What's another one? I know They Live. But Animatrix, for example, if you've seen that, you've seen what it shows you at the beginning. Not at the beginning, but in one of the chapters in it, it shows you what happened to society and how everything turned into this AI race, and then humanity was wiped out. When I was introduced to this perspective, but I agree with it. The meaning of that, of humanity being wiped out in the movie, is divine, masculine, and feminine beings. Because that's the ultimate goal, right? The ultimate goal is to rid this The ultimate goal is to rid this, what you want to call it, this experience, this 3D experience of masculine and feminine mindsets, because, and why I say because, and genuine beings too, authentic men and women, because an authentic man or woman is going to be balanced within their truth, right? When I look at most YouTubers, all celebrities, I won't say all, I'll say like 99.9%, because I haven't seen a celebrity that isn't inverted. And how I didn't see that before blows my mind. But now I see it. So I can't be mad at myself. I can't be mad at anyone for that, because we're just so conditioned to have that normalized within society. But politicians, inverted too. TV actors, movie actors, inverted. Football players, NBA players, sport players on the main stage, most likely inverted. I won't even say most likely. Professionally, like NBA, NFL, NHL, inverted, for sure. I have no doubts about that. Everything I've seen, honestly, if you were to be authentically a man, you wouldn't even, I can't speak for others, but I can speak for myself. I wouldn't play in that sport, because I know the meaning behind that sport. I understand ball, meaning the entity ball. I understand, I understand the magic behind football. And my bad, I'm getting thrown off. But I understand what it's for. I understand what it's for and what is being shown to us. And I understand this too intuitively when I was younger, when I was a kid. Because what's the point of football? What's the point of basketball? What are you gaining from this? What are you gaining from this that benefits you at the end of the day for yourself, and not for someone above you, or for money? You feel me? I'm just being honest. Your thoughts presently create your tomorrow. Your thoughts presently create your thoughts presently create your tomorrow. And that's why time is non-linear, because, and I think I get into this. Yeah, so I'm gonna read this out. If my thoughts presently were present yesterday through a label called past or yesterday, and my future thoughts and my future thoughts are playing out now, currently, through healing my past, what am I living in? Am I living? Let me go back. Because I gotta let y'all know. If my thoughts presently were present yesterday through a label called past and yesterday, and my future thoughts and are okay, let me stop. So basically, yes, yesterday and tomorrow exists through an illusion. So they don't exist. They don't exist. But through an illusionary mindset, yes, they do exist. That many people unfortunately believe in. Excuse me. Because let's say you're thrown into nature, right? You don't know no words, you don't know no language, you don't know what's the you don't know anything, ignorant. But that would be ignorant in itself. So let me not say that. So if you didn't know anything about days of the week, time, if you didn't know anything about time itself or days of the week, okay. If you didn't know anything like that, you would not be calling yesterday and tomorrow. You would be living in the present, because the moon is not what it's portrayed to be. The moon is what controls emotions. My bad. I keep thinking I'm hearing something, but I'm not hearing anything. The moon controls emotions through listening through the phones, not only the phones, but probably, honestly, anything with a battery in it. I'm reaching, but that's just an assumption. But I wouldn't put it, I'm assuming, right? But I wouldn't put it past. Because there's also astral spies. I'm monitoring spirits through flies, and I would say other insects too, but I don't know, so I can't speak on that. Flies, I could say damn sure. That's just my perspective, though. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so hold on. Or am I observing because if someone or something created this word or spell and make it have a definition to affect my way of perspective, then what am I living in? What am I taught to live in? Right, because we're taught to live in this society with language, bills, cars, all this and that. Nobody willing, no, that's not the right word. Nobody actually wants to do these things, but they're willing to do it because they're scared of what change will come from that overcoming of fear, because they're comfortable. We are energy willingly playing in a circus act or play through quantum realities that we make up and create by following ignorance or thoughts that will keep recycling themselves. So we are energy willingly playing in a circus act or playing through quantum realities that we make and create up. That we make up and create. So, like we were saying earlier, one second. Like we were saying earlier, when you think of something, now you're creating that reality for yourself. So if you're worrying that when you go on this plane that it might crash, or you're worrying that when you drive this car a tire might blow out and you're gonna be skirting all over the road, well, now you may create that reality for yourself. Excuse me. When you know and when you understand that source or God, because it's not called God, but source, your higher self, or bliss, or a word that you can't even describe it with a word, because English is man-made. From a man-made mind, from a humanoid mindset. Humanoid. Yeah. That higher self will be silent. It would not say a word. It would be your mother's nature. Although I'm not hearing that right now, silence is still key. But it's silence. It's silence. By following ignorance or thoughts that will keep recycling themselves. So following hive mindsets, following idol worshiping, following religion, following basically just not following yourself and not believing in yourself and not having confidence in yourself. Basically. And thoughts that will keep recycling themselves. If you constantly eat when you're hungry, if you constantly please your flesh, you will constantly recycle those thoughts. If you constantly are in doubt or in worry, you will constantly recycle those thoughts because you're not making a change for betterness. Your thoughts are boundless and create the reality you reside at or vibration. You can manifest anything into your reality for your future self presently. Well said. Thoughts are boundless. Your thoughts are boundless. So, meaning that you can create any type of reality you want by changing your acts daily, currently. It's that easy. Don't be scared to change. You don't know what's on that other side. You genuinely don't know. If you don't like it, I'm saying, I'm kind of projecting when I say that, but I'm saying for van life, if I don't like it, then I can always go back into living in a house. Eventually, yes, I do want to live in one, but right now, currently, for what I want to do, my house is right here. Anywhere I want to go, that's my house. And why do I need a house? Why would I want something that's... Why would I want something that isolates society? Now it's because it's allowed. I'm not saying that a house would... You know what I'm saying? But houses are very basic. Houses are very... You know what I'm saying? But it does do its thing when it comes to weather. It does do its thing when it comes to staying warm. You know what I'm saying? Or privacy. Okay, so nothing wrong with it. Why did... Okay, so I came up with this question. You know, the topic of this video was, why is change feared? I reversed this, my bad. It took me so long to get that. Why is change feared? I asked myself, why did fear change? And I reversed the question just to open myself up to a different perspective on what this could mean. Why did fear change? And this is what I wrote. I wasn't gonna write anything down for this. I wouldn't even share this, but I just thought it was interesting. Fear has been changed into what people think they have to fit into. Fitting into a job, fitting into a career path. Nothing wrong with a career or a job. Fitting into a certain look, a societal look. Fitting into a certain trend. Fitting into a certain, not a rank, but a certain label or title. Fitting into this friend group that's not the type of people that you want around you, the type of mindsets that you want around you. Fitting into habits that don't serve you. Fitting into one more, come on. Fitting into choices that don't align with you. Fitting into lifestyle choices that don't align with you. Kind of the same thing. fitting into lies, fitting into ignorance. Nothing wrong with fitting into ignorance as long as you're alchemizing that and taking that perspective into your higher self's way of being. You feel me? And that's with anything. Fearing change will keep you So I said, fear has been changed into what people think they have to fit into. And this is due to people not loving themselves, people hating themselves, people not knowing themselves. And that comes from black mirrors targeting the nervous system, or just trends and celebrity trends and trying to fit in. Like I just said, fearing change will keep you attached to the system that created the mindset that keeps you enslaved mentally and emotionally. So fearing change will keep you attached to the system. Fearing change will keep you attached to your lower ways of thinking, because you're not giving yourself the opportunity to think higher for yourself. When you think higher for yourself, that's when you now are basically changing the course of your life experience through the observation, changing your life experience for the better. And you're now transitioning into an observation that is being shown an experience aligning with its higher self. That's all I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to be more consistent with these uploads. I got to think of my next video tonight, because I got to release tomorrow. I have to. If I want to get to where I want to be at, I have to upload no matter what. I was tired for this video. I didn't want to upload. I'm in the dark too, but I'm still uploading. So, yeah, I'm on that timing. I'm on that. With love, because I love my past self, and I love what they envisioned for myself currently. That's it though. I love y'all. I appreciate you, and I hope you're taking care of yourself. I said yourself. I hope you're taking care of yourself, because self-care is the best teacher. Self-care is the best skill that you can learn for yourself. And what do I mean by self-care is the best teacher? When you're giving yourself self-care, you're now teaching yourself and reteaching yourself. No, I'll say you're basically teaching yourself self-love through self-care actions. Because now you're showing yourself, oh, I love you. I want to take care of myself. But that's all. I gotta go. I got people waiting on me, but have a great day. Have a great night. I'll see you. Peace.